Alright, it's Monday and it's about 1 o'clock. I left the area that I slept in and then continued down the Sawtooth byway. I think I've seen the prettiest part of it altogether. There were some really nice overlooks. So now I'm on, actually I'm going to take a detour towards Craters of the Moon. Just looks interesting. People said that it's worth seeing. And then from there, I'll probably head southeast to get into Wyoming. So not quite sure how long Craters of the Moon's going to take me to do. Just wait and see when I get there. I've already looked on Overlander and there's plenty of areas outside the park to stay. So if it takes me a while, then I'll stay there tonight before I finish the loop. If not, I'll just press on and call it a night whenever I feel like it tonight. So that's the plan. So I'm right inside the boundary lines for Craters of the Moon, and I was trying to find an access road maybe that was into this area here, and I saw a road go up there, and of course there's a tower and there's the gate that says no trespassing. But right near there is this what looks like a dump for somebody, but there are a ton of old cans. Check that out. I mean, there's just a bunch of these laying around here, and you can't make out any of the writing on all of them. They've been here for so long, but definitely a dump site there. And then there's another one over by where the Jeep is, and actually even more down there. I think the old cans and bottles are kind of cool. Look at all that in there. Definitely some cool patinaed collectibles for sure. If anybody's into those. Man, there's just tons of them in there. So, like I said, I'm at the entrance. So I'm going to head in, and then right about a mile down the road, not even, is that's out of the park boundaries. So if the winds die down, I want to launch the drone and try to get some aerial footage of this, but the winds are pretty bad right now, so that might not happen. I'll have to wait and see. So since I'm here at Craters of the Moon, I figured I might as well get out and at least walk a couple of trails. This one is wheelchair accessible, so it's paved, which makes it really nice. I just did a really short one on the small rocks, and not that enjoyable. It's super hot, it's dusty, and just like the lava tubes that I saw, I'm pretty sure that most of this park is going to look the same to me. I'm not really into geology. I mean, at first glance, it's pretty cool. It kind of looks like Mars in the areas where there's no trees, but this area, there's a lot of vegetation, and I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's not that unique, I guess, to me. I guess I've seen enough of these lava fields to not be all that excited about this one, but I'm here. I wanted to do it. I wanted to see it, and so I'm making myself get out and walk, and thank goodness it's windy because it is hot, and every time I get out of the car and get back in, I'm sweating. So, but at least it's later in the day. It's 4 something, so it should start to get a little bit cooler as the sun goes down. I don't plan on being here all that long. It's only a 7-mile loop all the way around. But I mean, overall, it is cool. If you haven't seen a whole lot of the country, then I mean, that landscape, it's definitely unique. It's definitely cool in its own way. But I've seen stuff like this throughout the country already. There's even lava tubes here that you can go in. I'm definitely not going in any of those. I went through, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them a few national parks ago. And to me, those definitely look all the same. So I'm not even going to spend my time doing that. But I am going to drive the loop. I'm going to check out the different scenery. Try to enjoy it as much as I can, especially right here in the shade. It's really nice. But, and I'll show a few clips of some of the stuff that I find a bit interesting. Stuff like this often makes me wonder if what they're even doing today is the right thing, and I guess that quote pretty much sums it all up. But I've been to so many national parks and forests and everything, and you're always reading about mistakes of what other people made because they thought that was right. And now, everywhere I go, there are rules based on what they think is right, and I'm sure a lot of those rules they're going to find out are actually wrong. So something that's kind of irked me on my trip, and realizing that what they say isn't always the case, but they make you believe it is until they're proven that it isn't. So, and then lo and behold, on the next board, they've got a politically correct statement for that called resource management. Wow, it's just like living in the corporate world. So that trail was pretty much nothing more than a really bad PowerPoint presentation of how bad management is ruining the volcanic fields, how visitors are ruining the volcanic fields. Everybody's horrible, and what do? Kick you out? Learn? I mean, it was really odd. I mean, I've read some of that stuff in other parks, but that particular trail, that one was probably one of the most bizarre. I don't know how I feel about it, but like I said, it was just this is bad, you're bad, everybody's bad, and we need to learn from that through the whole thing. It was just really weird. Anyway, maybe I'm just in an off mood today or something, but yeah, it's an interesting trail for sure. There's actually snow down there. Alright, so I am already done with Craters of the Moon loop. You could only see what I presume to be the one volcano out in the distance. You can't get anywhere close to it, at least not from the park anyway. So yeah, it's already, or not even 5 o'clock yet, and I've already seen enough of what I need to. I actually did read a lot of the boards, and the message is visitors suck. I mean, it's pretty clear they are not happy with the probably 5 to 10% of idiots who can't read signs and stay on trails. And I mean, it's pretty evident. You can see all the trails that people have created themselves by going off a trail, even though there's signs everywhere saying don't do it, but there's something in them that tells them that they have to, so they do. So there's just a lot of signage in this park, more so than any other park, just basically pinpointing bad visitors and the damage that it's doing. But so, I mean, if you're in the area, definitely, you know, worth stopping in and seeing. Unless you're going to do a lot of reading and really want to understand what this park is about and how it was formed, is it worth the $25 to $35, whatever it was, to get in? I don't think so, unless you're really into geology, but that's just me. You know, within the first 5 minutes, you've seen the first part and you've seen the last part, in my opinion. I didn't go into the caves, so that might actually be interesting to some people, but like I said, I've seen other lava caves before, and there were splatter cones. That, to me, was probably the most interesting thing, and I got a few videos of that. They actually have trails, paved trails, up to the top of splatter cones to try to get people from creating their own trails to the top, and still you can see where people go off trail anyway. I mean, it's just, it's mind-boggling. But anyway, so I mean, make up your own opinion as to whether or not you want to come here, do your own research. This is just my opinion, and you know, I'm glad I saw it. I was in the area. It only cost me a little bit of gas money to go a little bit out of my way to see it. I had a park pass, so I didn't pay anything to get in here. So anyway, that's that. Now I need to go try to find a camp spot for the night, and hopefully find some interesting stuff tomorrow. Alright, so I made a last-minute decision and not to continue the loop through 20 and Goodall's cutoff, just because to do that would have been 200 miles round trip out of my way. For a drive, I really don't want to do that. I need to watch my budget a little bit. What I decided to do is head straight to Shoshone Falls, and got my Jeep parked here. It's still pretty windy in this area and still hot, so I think what I'm going to do is get out my chair, sit here in the shade, and just enjoy the breeze and this little bit of scenery of this little creek that goes by. There's even a ladder here that goes over the, I have no idea what that sign used to say, but I think a lot of this is BLM land. This is actually a campsite area that I found on iOverlander, so I'll post the coordinates. But it's I saw one other person in one of the other spots, and that was it. I knew for a Tuesday night it would be pretty quiet, so that's why I came here. So it doesn't really look it on camera, but the moon is pretty big in comparison to a lot of other nights, and it's a really nice setting. The sunset hasn't really been much yet. Maybe it'll get better, but right now it's about, I don't know, 8:30, and I'm making some decaf coffee. Then I'm going to make some chicken gumbo. Got some leftover bread yet, so I'll use that for that. And just kind of enjoy this view. For being a campsite and being last minute, gotta say I'm pretty happy with the scenery. Having the creek right here, right beside, and the full moon like that, it's pretty cool, even though you can't see much, basically because of the small hills all the way around. But I just launched the drone. It is still a pretty setting. And even though it was kind of dragging all day, I'm nowhere near tired. So I've been editing video, and I'll probably edit some more before I go to bed, and hopefully the bugs die down. There's these little tiny black gnats that are everywhere. You can actually see them, I think, on screen. But I've got the bug repellent thing going inside the Jeep. Hopefully that drives some of them away. But regardless, it's a nice cool breeze. I'm glad the sun finally went down. It was getting a little toasty inside the Jeep, so it's going to be a pretty nice evening. I'm going to enjoy it.